The Sugar Ray Leonard fight with Thomas Hearns, and that is the fact that in rounds 6 and 7 of that fight, Ray Leonard seemed to have won by a wide margin, and yet they were only scored 10-9, the same as some later rounds that were won by Thomas Hearns.
You're going to see a lot of boxing from Hagler, because I think what he's going to do now, he's going to try to find out what is the most effective maneuver against Hamsho.
Hagler, of course, all business in the ring. Rarely will change expression. Hamsho we expect to come right at Marvin. Right now they're at long range. Feeling out period. 30 seconds into round 1 middleweight championship. First exchange.
I just don't believe that Hamsho has the tools to deal with a guy of Hagler's caliber.
Hagler will switch hands on you too. He'll go southpaw, he'll go the other way, he'll go every which way. Especially against a brawler like Hamsho, just to confuse him a little bit. Hagler with a jab in Hamsho's nose.
You're going to see the experience factor here, because Hagler's going to box him, going to outmaneuver him. And Hagler's right jab is very effective here. He's scoring at will.
Very sharp early on. 2 jabs right there that Hamsho tries to duck under, it can't. I don't believe Hagler has missed a right hand in a fight. Hamsho has been prone to cut. Took 22 stitches after the fight with 𝐓𝐡𝐞. And again, a very, very sharp right hand. And already the right side of Hamsho's face a little bit red.
But Hamsho's not used to a guy's feinting him, working body shots, moving side to side lateral position, throwing constant left jab. Hamsho's just not used to this kind of fighter.
Well, admittedly, we are only about 2 minutes into the first round of this fight, but Hagler has looked extremely sharp. And scores twice again and comes with the left hand on the top of the head. And another good right hand that stands Hamsho straight up. And another one. Going to run out of fingers pretty soon.
There's not too many guys that can stand up to Marvin Hagler, and that's the reason I want to give him an opportunity to make some money.
Well, he's managed to keep Hamsho at long range right where he wants him. Hamsho just simply cannot get inside that jab of Hagler's. Coming up on the 30-second mark here, and Hagler draws a warning to keep his hands up. And a right hand stands him up again. Marvin Hagler looking extremely sharp here. Hamsho tries to crowd him now, and Hagler covers up and gets out of there inside the 20-second mark, round 1. Missing a counterpunch. Round 1, all Marvin Hagler. Once again, the right hand, the right side of the face. We come to the end of round 1. Well, I tell you what, when they write the book on boxing, it would be hard to write it any better than that first round. Round 2, schedule 15-rounder, middleweight championship of the world. Hagler right to work with the right hand again against Hamsho. And a left hand scores, and Hagler goes after him. Hamsho swarming Hagler now against the ropes. Showing a little offense of his own, but swinging wildly.
This is the only way Hamsho will be effective. Going inside, clinching, tying him up, wrestling, clinching, holding, hitting. This is the only way he can fight. Hagler can change up. He's versatile, he can box, and most of all, he can punch.
So Hamsho trying to get inside, being a little bit more effective early in the second round here, doing that than he was in the first. Right hand catches Hamsho backing away. And again, a right hand to the side of the head of Hamsho, keeping him away, keeping him off balance. Left hand scores for Hagler. And another right hand, right to the nose. Once more, good stiff jab by Marvin Hagler, coming off a left hand by Hamsho that scored on the top of Hagler's head.
Hagler's doing the right thing, keeping Hamsho on the outside of that jab, because inside is very dangerous because you can sustain a headbutt.
Which, of course, was the case with Vito Antuofermo against Marvin Hagler. And a left hand again sends Hamsho back. Hamsho trying to work inside. As Ray Leonard mentioned, that's really the only thing that he can try to do and sustain any kind of offense. Chopping left hand by Hamsho.
You know, it's quite difficult fighting a guy like Hamsho inside, because Hamsho is capable of throwing punches from any direction. He can hit you in the body, in the back of the head. I'd rather fight him on the outside.
Combination again stuns Hamsho. Right hand and a left cross. Hamsho has gotten much the worst of the early going here. Marvin Hagler looking extremely sharp. And Hamsho scores with a right hand. And a left hand to the nose of Marvin Hagler as Hamsho swarms him. And a good left hand again, and the knees wobble for just a moment.
Hamsho is a very durable fighter. He's taking some good shots from Hagler, although I think as the rounds progress, it's going to take his toll completely.
Another right hand getting right in on the chin of Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho fights back, tries to swarm again, takes 2 shots, gives 1. Hamsho, the kind of guy who'll give up a couple of punches to get in a couple. He's been likened to Jake LaMotta, likened to Harry Greb. But as Larry Merchant mentioned, he's getting a boxing lesson right now from the champion Marvin Hagler.
From Mustafa Hamsho.
Round 3 upcoming now. A little bit of swelling on the right side of Mustafa Hamsho's face, and it has taken an awful lot of jabs. Another right hand catches him up on the left side of the face.
A one-punch KO is not going to be the case here. I think Marvin's going to eventually put his punches together because I think it's going to take a series of punches to get Hamsho out of there.
Well, Marvin has rarely missed in the first 2 rounds here, and we just get underway here in round 3. Has been extremely sharp. The jab scoring between the guard of Mustafa Hamsho. More important, Hamsho has not been able to get inside, and there was a butt. Now blood shows.
There's been a butt.
There was a butt on the right side of Marvin Hagler's face.
And there is a cut over the right eye of the champion on a butt.
Marvin Hagler now says, I got to get down and do some business here.
Well, Hagler, he doesn't really know how serious that cut is, and it can't get worse as the fight progresses. And what he wants to do now is try and get the fight over with as soon as possible.
Blood continuing to show, and it could get into the eye as Hamsho now tries to work on that. And I think you might have heard Marvin Hagler say, come on, come on. Might be the first time in the fights that we've done with Marvin Hagler that I've actually seen him angry. I think Marvin is really angry right now.
Well, I think he can't afford to get angry because he's not missing. But Hagler's a superior fighter, and I'm quite sure the experience will take its toll.
I think there might be a cut on the right eye of Hamsho also. Not sure if that blood is coming from Marvin or from Hamsho, but I believe it's from Hamsho alongside the right eye.
Both fighters are cut at this present time, and I've been quite biased as far as Hagler is concerned because I really want to fight him because I look at him as being a great champion.
And Marvin continues to talk to his man. I don't think Marvin wants to fool around. I think the cut on Hamsho right now is probably the more serious of the 2. And Marvin is just fighting like a man possessed right now. Inside the 1-minute mark remaining here in round 3. I think Marvin's getting a little bit tired of butts. It happened in the Fermo fight, and it happens here in round 3 against Mustafa Hamsho. And Hagler remains very sharp. Right hand again scores. Hamsho sticks his tongue out at Hagler. Hamsho may be trying to work on the psyche of Marvin Hagler. I've never seen Marvin Hagler lose his cool, and I'm not implying that he's lost it now, but I do think he wants to get this over with. A couple of punches scoring there by Hamsho, and Hagler comes right back at him. 5 seconds remain. End of round 3. Round 4, and let's see how good the cut man in each corner. Hamsho starts bleeding almost immediately. No blood showing from Hagler right now. Hagler gets right back to work. Combination by Hamsho, scoring on Hagler. Hagler again peppering Hamsho with that jab. Keeping his man off balance. And a right hand scores, but a counter punch by Hamsho scores on a Hagler. Another right hand by Hagler to the side of the head of Hamsho. It's only been 3.5 rounds, but I'll tell you, it's been an upbeat 3.5 rounds here in the middleweight championship. Hagler gets out of the ropes. He doesn't like it there. Hamsho bores in on him once again. Right hand scores by Hamsho to the side of the head of Hagler. Hamsho again swarming on his man. And now blood showing from the left eye as well, maybe along the bridge of the nose of Hamsho. Now there's definitely a cut over the left eye as well as the right eye, so this fight, I would guess, is not going to go a great deal longer, as long as Hagler. And now the referee, Octavio Moran, stops things for a moment. He's going to ask for the ring physician here. And he is asking Hagler to go to a neutral point. This is not a knockdown. The time will stop. And the ring physician will come on to look at the eyes of Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho says he's all right. Ring physician is not so sure. And there is a lot of blood. It is from the left eye, above the left eye of Mustafa Hamsho. Action continues. Hagler goes right to work on it. Hagler jabbing very effectively here. Blood from both eyes of the challenger. Hagler again sticking the right hand in the face of Mustafa Hamsho.
At this point now, this fight should be stopped. I don't think, although a championship is great to have, at this point now it's not worth your health.
Hamsho has been like, or rather Hagler has been like a surgeon here. There's no question about it. Again, scores 2 more times. It's got to be affecting his vision.
It is. The blood is flowing to his eyes, and but again, I take my hat off to the guy. The guy's still fighting. He's still in there.
Well, game is a word that we overuse perhaps in the sport of boxing. I think you have to use it and use it accurately so on Mustafa Hamsho. Hagler really punishing him right here. Hamsho comes back with a right hand and scores with another right hand. And Hagler just continues to bang away now, virtually at will. The crowd is on its feet, and I think the crowd empathizes with Ray Leonard and myself, and I'm quite sure our cohort Larry Merchant, and that this fight should not go on a great deal longer. The left eye does not seem to be bleeding any longer right now. Does not seem to be bothering him. Most of the damage is on the right eye, and he takes another good shot right on it, and yet another by Hagler.
Well, we can see now that Hamsho is completely out of it. I mean, as far as his vision is concerned, he's fighting from the heart, but his vision is completely impaired.
And Marvin Hagler, as is his job, continues to score almost at will on the face of Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho dead game, but we come to the end of round 4. Very, very damaging round.
Al Braverman, who normally is very excitable, picked that moment to be very calm because he knew he had to be.
And he told Mustafa Hamsho, you just got to get out and do it right now, because if you don't, I'm going to stop the fight. And that's exactly what Hamsho is trying to do. You know, you see a movie like a Rocky, and that's all let's pretend. And here it's just about the same scene going on in the corner, and this is for real, folks.
Well, Hamsho tried to stop the fight from the very beginning, and we see Marvin still in there. All you're going to see now is pretty much a boxing lesson. You're going to see Marvin displaying his talent, just completely outmaneuvering, landing punches, putting his punches together quite well, and just taking Hamsho apart at the stage.
Hagler just kind of pacing himself now. Hagler knows he's got the fight virtually won, barring the totally unforeseen. Cutman in Hamsho's corner obviously doing a pretty good job, because we are almost a minute into this round and there is really not a great deal of blood, and he was cut pretty seriously on both eyes. And there's a shot that opens it up again on the left eye. The right eye seems to be cut underneath the eye and the left eye above the eye. There has been no further blood on the face of Marvin Hagler following the butt.
I like what I see of Marvin. He's boxing, he's utilizing the whole ring, and when he has an opportunity to take control, he stands there and releases combinations.
Marvin doesn't want to do anything to get in any more close-in contact than he has to because of the butt. Right hand right on the chin of Hamsho that time. But there really is not as much blood in this round on the face of Hamsho as there was in the last, although the right eye now showing quite a lot of blood. Hagler Hagler, realizing he's in control, is back to being the taskmaster that he was early. I think it was obvious that he got angry after the butt. Not so much, I don't believe, at Hamsho, but just at the situation, because it was 2 fights in a row. Blood showing under the left eye of Hamsho now, as well as on top of the left eye. And there's a short right hand that I'm amazed Hamsho could stand up under. That was a heck of a punch. And again, a short right hand scoring on the side of the head of Mustafa Hamsho.
Marvin, he's in complete control now. He's doing whatever he wants to do.
Punch, the right hand by Hagler that time, and virtually every punch that Marvin throws is scoring. 2 jabs to the nose of Hamsho. Hamsho tries a lunging right hand that misses. And Hamsho is going to get through this round.
There we go.
And Mustafa Hamsho just trying to emulate that if he possibly can here. And I think you heard his corner there just kind of exhorting him to get getting, and doing so because of the cut. Not in spite of it, but because of it.
The bleeding seems to have stopped a little bit. And he just landed a pretty good shot on Hagler's chin. But getting back to the cuts, they don't look as bad as they did from the start.
Cornermen doing a good job on Hamsho.
I just don't like blood.
Most particularly your own, right? Looping right hand by Hamsho. Trying to get off first, and that's what you heard Braverman telling him. You're letting him get off first, and that is exactly what's been happening since the opening bell. It has nothing to do with the cuts. 4 punches scoring by Hagler.
Hagler's jab would do more damage than a good left hand because it's consistent. And it makes the cut worse. It opens the cut up. Plus, you have a better chance of setting Hamsho up for a combination.
Hamsho just trying to get on top of his man, get in close, and of course that doesn't help the cuts at all. Hagler goes downstairs that time. And another left hand, but Hagler really has not been able to really hurt Hamsho, and he's hit him with every punch he's got. And again, not a lot of blood on the face of Mustafa Hamsho. Much worse in the 3rd round.
This guy, Hamsho, is unbelievable. I mean, he's taken a barrage of good solid punches from Hagler, and he still comes, he's still in there.
Hagler stood him straight up that time with an uppercut. And more blood shows from the left side of the face of Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho still tries to bore inside on him. Hagler pushes him away and uppercuts him. He has scored consistently with that. A little bit of blood showing on the side of the face of Marvin Hagler once again now. I think, again, that came from contact inside. Hamsho also looks to be a little bit tired right now. 20 seconds remaining in round 6. Middleweight championship at the Horizon Chicago. Right hand counterpunch by Hagler. So when Hamsho does get off first, Hagler counterpunches him. And another right hand, end of round 6.
Deep breaths, come on, deep breaths. Come on, deep breaths. He's cut. Come on, deep breaths, hold it, stay there, stay there.
You hear Al Braverman urging his fighter on. That's his job.
Come to round 7. Hamsho's corner has done an outstanding job. They've remained calm. They've pretty much stopped the bleeding. They have done an outstanding job. Very good sharp jab by Hamsho. He's still got something left. this time Hagler has opened up the eye once again of Mustafa Hamsho. Hagler seems to be pacing up a little bit here in round 7.
Well, I'm impressed with both men. I'm impressed with Hagler, his talent, the way he utilizes the ring, work his combinations. Very impressed with Hamsho. You notice he just stuck his tongue out. The guy is tough.
Well, the crowd here really picking up the tempo as well as the fighters. Hagler continues to circle his man, not waste any punches, score with most of the punches that he's throwing. Referee 𝐓𝐡𝐞 taking a good close look at the eyes of Mustafa Hamsho now, which are bleeding a little bit more. Hagler just working his man, circling him to the left. Counter punch with the right hand, scores on the face of Hamsho.
You know, one thing that's paid off for Hagler is that he's always in shape because they had such a fast pace going. And normally a fight would be completely exhausted at this pace here.
Good indication of just what you were talking about in the last round, Ray. Two quick jabs opened up the right eye once again of Mustafa Hamsho.
Yes, the jab opens the cuts and it continues to bleed and blinds the opponent.
Little blood showing on the side of the eye once more of Marvin Hagler.
You notice Hagler went downstairs, and I think it stunned Hamsho for a second.
Hagler being very workmanlike, very effective, up on his toes now. You and I talked in your fight, when you do get cut like that, sometimes it affects the peripheral vision, the vision to the side. I know you concerned yourself with that in your fight with Thomas Hearns. I can't help but wonder if that's not what's happening to Hamsho right now, and Hagler seems to be taking advantage of it.
Yes, he is. Hagler has the experience to take full advantage of the opportunity.
And there's a right hand that sends Hamsho reeling. Hamsho comes right back up and sticks his tongue out. And to round 7.
Well, I don't know what it does when a fighter lands his best punch and the other guy sticks his tongue out at him, but it couldn't have done the other fighter any good either.
But you know something, Larry? If Mike trains this to me, Mike, don't ever let me fight this guy Hamsho. No way.
We're going to take a look at those punches right here at the end of the round. A solid right hand, and bang, he comes right back with it. This is a different Hagler than we have seen. Most fighters move away from him, and he has to press the attack. Here we see him dancing, coming in, throwing combinations, and doing a textbook job early in the round here, just doing it as well as he can.
Here you go, Matt. Yep, let's go. Grab his chair. Come on, grab that shit.
Well, there is no questioning the fitness of these two fighters. There is no questioning the gamesmanship of these two fighters. Hagler comes right out with a right-hand lead. I think it got a pretty good indication of what kind of a punch Hamsho could take in that replay that you just saw between rounds. Hagler had his man off balance and hit him a ton with a right hand, and Hamsho didn't go down. Back against the ropes goes Hamsho now, telling Hagler, come on, let's get getting.
You know, normally you can tell if a fighter's hurt by watching his legs. You know, there's a little jerk to him. But it's quite difficult to determine whether or not Hamsho is really hurt because of his style. He comes in normally off balance. Very difficult.
Hamsho showing himself as a more than qualified contender here. Slashing right hand again by Hagler to the chest, and a right hand right on the button of Hamsho, but Hamsho doesn't take a backward step. Comes back with a combination of his own, and a left hand to the chin once more by Hagler. Right hand scores to the side of the face. Hagler is really being like a surgeon, and Hamsho has taken it all. 3 punches right on the nose.
I'll say again, that one punch won't take Hamsho out. It's going to take a series of punches.
Another whistling left hand to the side of the head of Mustafa Hamsho, and a right hand scores. And Hamsho, maybe for the first time, takes a backward step. trying to measure his man, get him on the way in if he can. The cuts have not been a major problem for Mustafa Hamsho since they occurred. Hagler draws a warning for holding. 2 right hands to the side of the face of Hamsho by Marvin Hagler. Hagler is sharp with his jab tonight, as I've seen him. Downstairs, then the right hand upstairs, and that wobbles the knees of Hamsho.
That combination there did a lot of damage to Hamsho.
He went 2 right hands, 1 upstairs, 1 downstairs, and then came back with a 1 to the face.
A guy's durable at Hamsho. 1 punch won't do it. You have to put them together. You got to stun him first, and then you take control.
Hamsho keeps scoring in, scores with the left hand to the head of Marvin Hagler. Hamsho's fighting like he's not worried about his eyes right now.
Well, he's not. I think all he wants to do is win.
Combination by Hamsho on the side of the head of Marvin Hagler. Hagler backs up, hits him with the right hand of his own. End of round 7.
Now Braverman pulling out all the emotional stops, and he rightly should.
I don't think you could script that any better.
You know, whatever happens, Mustafa Hamsho doesn't want to leave here tonight thinking he didn't give it everything he had, and he is.
Scored with the left hand right there. Lunges back at Hagler, but Hagler gets out of there in a hurry. Hagler still has a lot of legs under him. Scores with a combination of his own. That stops Hamsho. I think Hagler hurt Hamsho for the first time in the fight in that last round. We're in round 9. Bit of blood again shows over the right eye of Marvin Hagler, earlier than it has in previous rounds. To the body and then to the head by Hamsho. Hagler peppering him with the right hand once again. Very effective jab. Can't talk enough about it. And another left hand to the side of the head of Hamsho.
Marvin is truly displaying his talent, his ability to outmaneuver an opponent, to all of a sudden change up from being a slugger to a boxer, a counterpuncher. I'm very impressed with him.
Shows a lot of good foot speed. He really can move. He's been up on his toes. He's fought flat-footed. He's changed styles. He's changed hands. There's a right hand by Hamsho that grazes the chin, and he takes one back on the chin with the right hand by Hagler.
He knows what the combination, the damage that the combination does to Hamsho when Marvin releases 2 3-punch combinations.
Once again, more combinations of punches from Marvin Hagler.
The way I see it now, if Marvin just go ahead in there and put his punches together, he can end this fight.
Hagler scoring almost at will. But it's not really, but perhaps for that one flurry of right hands in the last round has not really hurt Mustafa Hamsho, who has not but one time taken a backward step. And Mustafa Hamsho is a credit to coagulation, I'll tell you that.
Well, you can't let a guy like Hamsho gain confidence, gain momentum. He gets tougher. Hagler hurts him from time to time, but I don't think he feels it's the right time to take advantage of it.
More blood actually showing in the face of Marvin Hagler than there is on the face of Mustafa Hamsho now, and it looked just 5 rounds ago like the thing was going to be stopped right there. Hamsho with a jab right up on the cut over the right eye of Marvin Hagler. Hagler beginning to score with the left hand a little bit now. And a combination once again by Marvin Hagler, and Hamsho's back in his own corner as the 9th round comes to an end.
Marvin, I imagine neither did Hagler.
And Hamsho opens up a little offense. more blood showing now on the face of Mustafa Hamsho early on in the 10th round here. And likewise on the face of Marvin Hagler as Hamsho continues to pepper him. And there's a right hand, sends Hamsho back a couple of steps. Didn't really seem to hurt him too much, however. Left hand scores, and I think you probably heard the sound of that as clearly as I did here. Caught that on the shoulder. Right hand scores, and now Hagler looks as though he might be cut up near the bridge of the nose on the inside of the right eye.
But both men are still throwing a lot of punches, a lot of solid shots. So there's a great deal of damage being done.
Looping left hand scores by Hamsho and a right hand to the nose, and there's some blood on the face of Marvin Hagler. Halfway through round 10. Right hand uppercut just stood the head of Mustafa Hamsho, snapped it right back, and a combination again and another right hand, and the crowd comes alive, and another right hand to the face of Hamsho. Hamsho continues to bore in on the champion Marvin Hagler, who scores once more with a right hand and a left cross. And Hamsho still does not appear to be hurt. He has taken an awful lot of punishment from the champion. Left hand by Hamsho, right up on the cut of Marvin Hagler. Wild right hand, and now a right hand to the body of Hamsho. Hamsho has his man against the ropes. Hagler pounds on it. And Hamsho scores once again to the face of Marvin Hagler. Hagler is cut both on the inside and the outside of the right eye.
You know, at this point now, you have to say, what is keeping Hamsho up?
He has absorbed an awful lot of punishment. Two right hands right to the nose, and this backs him up. Two sharp jabs by Marvin Hagler, and a right hand a little bit short by Hagler, who is now stalking Hamsho. Left hand to the ribs and a right to the face. Hamsho back against the ropes. And now the steam seems to have gone from Mustafa Hamsho. Not so from the champion Marvin Hagler. End of round 10.
You heard it. He says that this is the last round he's given him. If he doesn't look any better here, the corner will stop the fight. Let's see if he was conning him or telling him the truth.
Well, he did go over, did Al Braverman, and talk to 𝐓𝐡𝐞 and as a result of that, he didn't get to work on the cuts of Mustafa Hamsho. And the right eye was bleeding in the corner just as much as it was during the round. Very strange goings on here. Hagler goes to work on him, and Hamsho is fighting like it is for real. And this is the last round of the fight. Let's see. Right hand again, and another right hand, and Hamsho's legs go again. Hagler continues to pound away to the body. Now to the head with the right hand. Hamsho tries to fight his way off the ropes. Hamsho content to stay against the ropes now. Uppercut scores by Marvin Hagler, and another right hand to the face, and the eyes continue to bleed of Mustafa Hamsho. Hagler combination, scoring at will. Crowd is alive. Right hand to the face once more of Hamsho. Hamsho obviously taking his corner seriously. This is the last round, and it looks very much right now as though it will be.
Well, Hamsho has sustained more cuts on the lower part of his eye, and I don't see no way this fight can continue.
This time, I think everybody is in agreement that the fight cannot go on much longer. 𝐓𝐡𝐞 taking a very close look now at Mustafa Hamsho. Hamsho cut along the bridge of the nose, on the eye, inside the mouth, both eyes. Trying to do what he can to keep the attack of Marvin Hagler off of him, but there is very little he can do right now. Just trying to measure him, keep him away. Hagler scores with the right hand even so. And another right hand, and yet another. Combinations of punches by the champion. Tries to go downstairs, comes up, a right hand snaps his head back. Hamsho is against the ropes, takes another right hand, and an uppercut. Hamsho's corner is up, and they are saying, that's it, that's all. Braverman is saying, stop it. The referee does so. The fight is over, and Marvin Hagler has retained his undisputed middleweight championship of the world. What can you say?
You can't say anything, but this guy is truly, Hagler, the greatest middleweight in the world, without a question.
And he really got all he wanted from Mustafa Hamsho tonight. He hit him, I don't know how many punches, 200-300 punches maybe?
It maybe was double than that. I think that Hagler displayed all the talents that he has, and I take my hat off to the guy.
Outstanding effort by the champion Marvin Hagler. Second fight in a row, of course, that he was butted. And again, you have to look at the challenger, Mustafa Hamsho, and say, here's a guy who really did a job. His corner did a pretty good job, too, because from the time he got cut, which I believe was in the 3rd round, from that point on, the bleeding until this last round really was at the point where I would doubt that it was even bothersome to him.
Well,
take another look at the finish of the fight. Ray, talk us through this.
Well, at this point now, Hagler's in complete control, and he displays so much talent here. As we see Hamsho trying to line up Hagler with a punch, Hagler scores a straight right hook, rather.
I think one of the most remarkable things, and I think this is a sign of any great champion, Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, that when you have the man in trouble, you don't waste punches. And Marvin Hagler did not waste a punch tonight.
Well, Hagler took advantage of the opportunity. He had his man hurt, and he took care of business.
So Marvin Hagler retaining the middleweight championship of the world, doing so in most impressive fashion. And you get one more look here at the end for Mustafa Hamsho. And you can't use the phrase enough, he was dead game, but there was nothing he could do. He was just in with the best middleweight around right now, and maybe ever. And there's a handshake by Marvin Hagler to Sugar Ray Leonard right here. And here's the official decision.
9 seconds, 11th round, the winner by technical knockout and still the world's middleweight champion, Marvin